Hello, my name is Hilary Rand, and I am the mother of two. I live in Austin, and I am a member of Moms Demand Action for Guns in America. Since its founding in the days following the mass murder at Sandy Hook Elementary in Connecticut, Moms Demand Action has grown into a national grassroots organization with a chapter in all 50 states and nearly 7,000 supporters in Texas. Newtown caught my attention and changed my life. I was just joking with a colleague that I didn't choose this issue chose me. But I have since learned that a Newtown-sized massacre happens every day in this country. 33 Americans are murdered with guns every day, 8 of them children. And most of these murders happen because criminals and other dangerous people who are prohibited from possessing firearms by federal and state law have guns when they should not. That's one reason why Texas open carry is so distressing to me and my group. To legally carry a concealed handgun in Texas, as we know, you must get a permit, which includes a criminal background check and basic safety training. In Texas, we don't issue concealed carry permits to people who have been convicted of violent crimes, who are severely mentally ill, or who have a history of violating court-issued protective orders. But none of these safeguards apply to the open carry of shotguns and rifles, also called long guns. Most Texans are very surprised when they learn that the people they see openly carrying in our streets and our public spaces today in demonstrations almost every weekend in our urban areas, these people are not required to have had a background check or to have received any firearm safety training whatsoever. There currently is no screening or permitting process overseeing the open carry of long guns in Texas. Combined with the fact that it is incredibly easy and completely legal to purchase a gun in Texas without a background check from an unlicensed seller at a gun show or via the internet, this makes for a very dangerous situation. There's simply no way to know whether the people openly carrying loaded shotguns and rifles in our city streets are legally able to own their weapon, let alone sufficiently trained in the safe handling and use of that weapon. When the members of this committee hear open carry, you might have images of a lone hunter walking to his deer blind, rifle in hand, or perhaps a concealed carry permitted person openly carrying. But today, make no mistake, open carry in Texas means a movement toward unfettered, unrestricted ability to openly carry any kind of loaded long gun anywhere and at any time, including densely populated urban, suburban, and commercial public areas, with limited, if any, ability on the part of law enforcement to assure that the carrier is in fact a law-abiding gun owner. Some irresponsible gun owners are taking advantage of this loophole in Texas's public carry law to intimidate people and harass law enforcement officers. For example, last year in Arlington, open carry activists found out that 4 Moms Demand Action volunteers were having lunch at a restaurant to discuss membership efforts. This was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Imagine the volunteers' shock when nearly 40 protesters pulled up into the parking lot and began pulling long guns out of their trunks and staring menacingly at the windows.
Sure.
I was there.
Okay, hey everybody.
Hold
on a second.
Yes.
Let's don't have comments from the audience, please. We're going to respect everybody that's at the microphone. Thank you. Proceed.
Since there is no permit required to openly carry long guns, police were unable even to ensure that these armed intimidators were legally entitled to own guns. Texas's aggressive carry activist groups, including Open Carry Texas and Come and Take It Texas, have proliferated and are staging weekly protests while carrying loaded long guns in urban areas across the state. On any given weekend in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, or San Antonio, you will find armed groups in shopping malls, store parking lots, restaurants, and city parks congregating with their loaded long guns. These protesters often target law enforcement in particular. This past weekend alone, armed protests were held in Dallas, Plano, Sherman, and Poteet, as well as a day of resistance in Alvin. And just yesterday, an armed protest called Stand Against Tyranny rally was held outside a San Antonio police station to protest San Antonio law enforcement. Currently, Texans have a choice to either concealed carry a handgun or openly carry a long gun. open carry activists are purposely choosing the option that requires no background check and no training. As a mom, I do not feel comfortable at all with the idea of a stranger carrying a loaded gun, long gun, and a visible 30-round magazine at the local park where I take my children to play. It's not the gun I fear, it's not the magazine, it's the fact that our laws provide me no assurance that the stranger holding the loaded gun near my child has undergone a criminal background check or received appropriate firearm safety training. When considering the future of open carry for our state, it is important to consider the issue of local control. I've heard it said that if you've been to one town in Texas, you've been to one town in Texas. Our state is geographically enormous and unendingly diverse. Our communities and their needs are very different. This is precisely what makes Texas so great. Mom Demand Action supports the maintenance of Texas's historical recognition of the central importance of local control. We believe that each municipality should have the ability to set its own policies about where and what kind of public carry is appropriate, and that the legislature should support efforts that clearly give municipalities this control. There have been approximately 60 American school shootings in the 18 months since Newtown, yet every effort to pass common sense regulations, including a simple background check that would keep guns out of the hands of criminals, those with dangerous mental health issues, and domestic abusers, has been met with fierce and relentless opposition from the American gun lobby. That gun lobby includes the National Rifle Association and the Texas Rifle Association, the two organizations from which we just heard. I'm just a mom, and I'm here because I'm very passionate about this issue, and I want my city where I live, Austin, and I want my state, Texas, and my country to be safer than it is today. Moms Demand Action feels that it is the duty of the Texas legislature to encourage responsible gun ownership by requiring background checks on all gun sales and enacting certain minimum requirements to carry a loaded gun in public. I ask this committee to focus efforts not on expanding open carry when we have such questions and issues that are still unaddressed, and expanding open carry arguably might be encouraging those activists who use their firearms to harass mothers and law enforcement officers, but instead to focus on legislation that places appropriate safeguards in place for carrying guns in public, and that assures the tradition of the local municipal control when it comes to the issue of open carry, and legislation that keeps guns out of the hands of those who should not have them. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak today.
You're welcome.